The Rebellion, a malignant threat to Imperial order. Implementation of the Tarkin Doctrine is critical, for the Empire is under siege by malcontents and traitors. Foremost among them are the fools who have pledged themselves to the Alliance to restore the Republic. They are a gaggle of traitors, and bleedings know nothing. Rebels. They are convinced they can return to a time of idealism that only exists in their hazy memories and limited imaginations. The Republic has been dead for 2 decades, and in light of the Empire's triumphs, the Republic's failings have never been plainer. Regrettably, the rebels cannot go unignored. Across the Empire, their cowardly methods have brought death to soldiers and citizens alike. The origins of the rebellion are rooted in the Clone Wars. A political minority, calling itself the Delegation of the 2000, tried to force its will on Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Senators Bail Organa of Alderaan and Mon Mothma of Sandrilla, despite holding seats on Palpatine's Loyalist Committee, demanded concessions that would have drained executive power and returned it to their greedy, grasping hands. When their desperate attempt to reassert control failed, the new order arose. The Emperor issued arrest warrants for the majority of those who had signed the petition of the 2000. Organa and Mon Mothma held on to their political careers through outward obedience. Behind the scenes, they masterminded the unification of disparate bands of insurgents into what termed the Rebel Alliance. The rebels are traitors and insurrectionists. By their actions, they have earned death sentences. It is the existence of the rebellion that underscores the need for superweapons, and if civilians die in the process, that is what it's meant to be. We could not expect our hands to stay clean when scouring the galaxy of rebel scum. The Rebellion Active Threats. The rebels have pieced together a military force and placed it under the command of the aging generals. They have troopers, capital ships, ground vehicles, and starfighters. Their recruits are often raw and untested. Their officers are often out of touch and deluded, hoping to relive the Clone Wars triumphs. Page's Commandos. The rebels are defined by their reliance on guerrilla fighting. Rebel special forces excel at such tactics, and Page's Commandos are the worst of the worst. Committed to sabotage and wanton destruction, the members of Page's Commandos have been prioritized by the Imperial intelligence for capture and interrogation. Unit specialties: demolitions, kidnapping, terrorism, inspiring widespread planetary insurgency. Key personnel: Major Bren Derlin, Lieutenant Judder Page. Red Squadron. The Rebellion has been building a fast strike fighter force for years, and recently received a boon when they acquired the designs of the T-65 X-Winger fighter from an unfaithful income engineer. Red Squadron is composed of the Rebellion's premier fighter pilots. The unit primarily flies the X-Wing, but relies on the BTL A4 X-Wing for heavy bombing. Their growing list of successes has prompted Alliance Command to list Red Squadron as a floating unit that can be reassigned at will. Operations Theater in space. Unit specialties: starfighter dogfighting, convoy raids, convoy escort missions, planetary strafing, and bombing runs, capital ship harassment. Key personnel: Commander Nara, Lieutenant Wedge Antilles.